Today I'm going to make stovetop carnitas. Now I will link my older recipe video in the description below. I also have a crock-pot version. I will put that link in the description. Now this is pretty much my go-to recipe for carnitas. Some of the ingredients are versatile. Either way, it's all going to be good. Okay, so let's go over the ingredients. Here I have 5 pounds of boneless pork roast or Boston butt pork shoulder roast. These were actually sliced into pork country ribs that I just cut into large chunks. I am going to be cooking these in lard, about 1.5 pounds. This is 5 pounds, like I said earlier. In my original recipe video, I think I used something like 4 pounds of meat. So to go into the pot, I'm gonna add 1 small cutie orange. You could use a navel orange, this is just what I had. 2 1/4 teaspoons of salt, 4 cloves of garlic, 1 large bay leaf. Mine is kind of broken. For the liquid in this, I'm going to use a 1/3 cup of freshly squeezed juice of an orange. Here I have a 1/3 cup to a 1/2 cup of evaporated milk, since I have a lot more meat than my last recipe. And you'll want to use 8 ounces of Coca Cola. Now, the liquid in this is kind of versatile. If you don't want to use evaporated milk, skip it and just add these 2 ingredients. Some people just add the Coke, some people just add the juice of the orange. Now, I know there's this debate of use real Mexican Coke as opposed to the American Coca-Cola with high fructose corn syrup. Use what you've got. I've actually had carnitas with Dr. Pepper in it, and it was so good. I could not find Mexican Coke in my grocery store here recently, so I just went with a regular American brand. You know, I know there's this like huge debate, but this is not a healthy dish, so use what you've got. If you think using Mexican Coke is a healthier version, great, but these are carnitas that are going to cook in lard. It's kind of not healthy, so go with what you know, go with what you can find. This is what I'm using today. Okay, so I'm using lard. And I'm just going to open these up. I think I'm going to put both of these in here. So for the recipe, since I'm using 5 pounds, I'm going with 2 pounds of lard. Okay. Here I have a heavy bottom pot. This is my Dutch oven over a medium heat. I'm going to go in with this. There we go. And I'm just going to let that melt down. Okay, so this is probably preheated to where I need it to be. Let's see, I'm gonna add 1 in here. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna carefully add the meat. Okay, so now I'm gonna submerge this as best as I can. I'm gonna let this cook, kind of like stir it every 15 minutes. It's gonna go for 1 hour. I'm gonna try to get this to cook through and get a little bit of browning before I add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so it's been 1 hour and this is looking really good. Now I know a lot of you are probably freaking out the fact that here's this bubbling, you know, lard or grease, and you're thinking things will catch on fire. No worries, because I too get worried. No, but you'll be fine. So at this point I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients. I'm going to go in with salt. And I'm going to mix that around. Here I got my smashed cloves of garlic going in. Bay leaf. Going in with the orange here. I'm going to give it a squeeze and There we go. Now we're going in with Coca Cola. Now for the evaporated milk. I added a half cup because this was 5 pounds of meat, a third to a half cup, and the juice of the orange, that's a third cup. And I know it looks just like bizarre. I'm gonna give it a mix, but all those ingredients just create this just flavorful carnita. It makes it golden brown. It gets this really nice golden color to it. So good. So the temperature will drop when you add all those things, but again, you'll want to keep it at a constant medium to medium high heat. You don't want it to like get out of control because now you have sugars in there that will burn. So once it starts to boil again, just keep it at a medium to medium high heat. And I'm going to let this go for another hour. Okay, I'm going to check on this. Oh yeah, cooking away. Whoops. See, this way you gotta stir it. Gets a little too... The sugars start to burn on the bottom, so that's why you have to be sure you're controlling the heat. But it smells so good. I can feel that it's kind of getting softer, which is great. I'm actually going to lower the heat. I want it to get down to a simmer because I don't want it to burn, but it's a good idea to just stir it every 15 minutes throughout the last hour of cook time. Again, cook time does vary, so you'll just want this to be crispy on the exterior and fork tender when you press on the meat. It just kind of falls apart. Super good. Okay, so these are falling apart. They are done. You don't want them to shred or fall apart in the oil. You still want them to have their shape, but I can tell they are soft and tender on the inside. So I'm going to take these out and set them aside. I'm going to make a green avocado salsa. Here I have some homemade green salsa. I'll put the recipe in the description below, maybe like a cup. 1 medium to large avocado. This is very ripe. Lid on and puree well. And here we have basically that green sauce that people like to dip their chips in at restaurants. It's basically green salsa, avocado. You could add some lime in here, pinch of salt, and that's gonna be the salsa for today. Okay, so we got the carnitas ready to go. I also have some diced onion, cilantro, some lime wedges, my avocado salsa, corn tortillas. Let's make a taco. Now it's time to dig in. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.